So you're training hard in the gym, you're tracking your macros, you're dieting perfectly clean, but the belly fat is still there. And this is because you are too stressed and the stress is keeping you fat. So in this video, I'm going to be answering these 3 questions and explaining the stress loop, which is the main thing that is causing you to retain that belly fat and keep you fat. So the first question I'm going to answer is, what does stress do to your body? It makes you fat. How can cortisol make you fat? It does make you fat. And how can you fix stress or the increase of cortisol? And answering these 3 questions, and once you understand these 3 questions, it will be so much easier for you to get rid of that belly, maintain a 6-pack year round, and feel good and look good. And don't worry, it's not gonna be anything crazy. You're not gonna have to take a million cold showers, sit in the sauna for an hour, take a million supplements. It's just a few major things that you're messing up on a daily basis, and once you fix them, it will change your life for the better. So the first thing that is causing the stress loop to begin is that your sleep is not dialed in whatsoever. And if your sleep is bad, it is going to cause so many things. It's going to increase your cortisol, which is going to increase your belly fat. But what is actually making your sleep bad? So one thing that can ruin your sleep is that you use your phone late at night. And looking at blue light or screens or your phone screen before bed actually has been shown to decrease the amount of deep sleep and REM sleep that you get. So on average, you want to be getting around 2 hours of deep sleep, 2 hours of REM sleep, and then the rest could be light sleep in the other stages. But if your REM sleep and deep sleep are messed up, your hormones are going to crash. Your test is going to get lower, your cortisol is going to go up, which is going to cause all these other problems. But looking at blue light before bed is going to ruin your sleep. So do not look at phones. And if you are, get some blue light glasses, put the brightness down on your screen, turn it into nighttime mode, and that will help limit the amount of blue light that you are getting while you're sleeping. And the next thing that could be messing up your sleep is caffeine. So if you are drinking caffeine past noon or 1 p.m., studies show that your REM sleep and deep sleep actually significantly decrease. So if you're drinking an energy drink late at night, if you're drinking even black coffee late at night, at 3 or 4 or 5 p.m., that's going to decrease your REM sleep and deep sleep, which is going to cause your cortisol to go up and cause you to have belly fat. So ideally, you want to have 1 or 2 black coffees around noon or 1 p.m. and you want to wait 90 minutes after waking up so that your adenosine levels come down, your cortisol comes down in the morning, and you won't crash later. So just take my word for it. Wait 2 hours after waking to have 1 black coffee. Try to drink it around 11 or 12 p.m. and you'll be good. And the third thing that could be messing up your sleep is your sleep schedule. And if you go to sleep late one night, it could mess everything up. If you go to bed earlier, it's fine. But if you usually go to bed at 10 p.m., and then you don't plan out your day, and you get caught either doing work or watching Netflix, and you get caught staying up till 1 a.m., your REM sleep and deep sleep get thrown off completely. Staying on that consistent sleep schedule is a game changer for keeping your test up and your cortisol down. And ideally, the closer you go to sleep with the sunset and when you wake up with the sunrise, it actually enhances your circadian rhythm, which means that your REM sleep and deep sleep will go up if you go closer to bed with the sun and you wake up with the sun. But if you're going to bed consistently at 10 p.m. and then you stay up to 1 a.m. one night, it's going to throw everything off, and it keeps you in that cycle of not having that REM sleep, not having that deep sleep, which is going to make your cortisol go up, and it's going to allow you to grow a belly, which is what we don't want. And when your sleep gets messed up, it leads us to the next part of the stress loop, which is a spike in cortisol. And as I was saying, all of these things will destroy your sleep. And when your sleep's messed up, your cortisol goes up, but cortisol will enhance your belly fat. It increases your insulin. It makes your insulin high all the time. And when your insulin levels are high all the time, it makes your body use carbs as your energy source instead of fat. So basically, you're not gonna be burning any fat, and it makes you hold on to that belly fat. It puts your body in survival mode all the time because you're stressed. Imagine you're starving in the winter tundra and you're trying to survive. You're stressed because you're about to die, so your cortisol goes up. And then when your cortisol's up, that's telling your body to hold on to all the fat you have, and it keeps you in low energy mode, like low power mode. You know how your phone, you put it on low power mode, it's a little bit more laggy, a little bit slower, but the battery lasts longer. It's the exact same thing, except you're living a 9-to-5 life. Your life's not that bad. Everything's fine, but because your sleep's messed up, your cortisol's up, and then it allows you to hold on to that belly fat, which is exactly what we don't want. So once your sleep's messed up, your cortisol goes up, it puts you in that, carb burning mode, and it prevents you from burning fat, and then that forces your body into the cravings mode, where you are just craving food all of the time, because when your insulin is spiked up, it makes you hungry. I don't know if you've heard about bodybuilders who eat, Skittles right after a workout to spike their insulin. It enhances protein synthesis and makes you really hungry. But the thing is, people don't understand how this works. And if you get your cortisol high, you start craving food, you'll see low calorie snacks or high calorie snacks that are not filling at all. And you keep going back to that bag of chips. You keep going for the Doritos, the Cheetos, the Cheez-Its, the candy, the soda. And when your stress is high, it makes you crave these things, and it just keeps you in that cycle. And if you have no idea about nutrition, it's so easy to fall into this trap of consumerism where you're just consuming. And if if you keep consuming these processed carbs, it keeps your blood sugar high. They say you get a sugar crash. If you eat sugar or carbs, it makes your blood sugar spike up, you crash, and then it makes you want to eat more. So it's like an addiction. So you don't even know it, but your sleep is making you fat, and it's making you literally want to eat more. It's a cycle that you don't understand. And if you break one of these things, if you fix the sleep, then your cortisol won't be up, and then you won't be hungry. Or if you just realize that you're craving the food, and then you switch to healthier foods like fruit, berries, whole foods that aren't processed and that aren't high calorie, it can literally break the cycle. But if you don't understand this, it'll keep you here for a long amount of time, and that's where most Americans are. They stay up at night watching Netflix on their phone or YouTube. They go to bed at 1 a.m. one night and then 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. the other night. Or they just are eating snacks at work. They go to a work event and there's a bunch of free food there. They have no self-control or plan, and they just eat it. And that's how you stay on the cycle of being skinny fat, not having energy, not having high testosterone. In the fourth section of this loop, that is the final result that keeps this going in a circle, is that you become addicted. And a dopamine addiction is what finishes off this loop, because when you crave those carbs, as I said, eating the sugar makes you more addicted, and it keeps you in the cycle. There's a study showing that processed sugar is more addicting than cocaine in a rat study. The rats had sugar or cocaine, and they chose the sugar more than the cocaine, which is insane. And if you think about, all boxed snacks, chips, pretzels, candy in the grocery store, carbs are made of sugar. Carbs are sugar. So basically everything in there is insanely addictive, more than cocaine. And if you don't understand that, you're going to just stay in that cycle. And the thing is, the more sugar you eat and the fatter you get, the higher your cortisol gets. So you have to break the loop by having the self-control for a week, and then it'll get easier. If you just cut it out, you won't become as addicted. You'll become less and less addicted, and then your cortisol will go down. And then when your cortisol is lower, it'll help you sleep more. But if your cortisol is high, it also makes your sleep worse. So it's literally like a double-edged sword that just comes back and forth and just screws you over if you are, doing all of these things, especially. And, when you're feeling down because you're crashing from eating the carbs, it makes you addicted and it makes you want to eat more. So if you can break any section of this loop, it makes it easier to break the other ones. But if you have them all together and you're addicted to all these all at once, it makes it basically impossible to break. You may be asking, how do I break this stress loop? Well, I'm going to show you in this 3-step process. So the first step is to establish a morning routine. You don't want to look at your phone because that spikes your cortisol. You start worrying and overthinking things about what's going to happen in the day. Don't put your phone, or don't look at your phone for the first 30 minutes. Go for a 30-minute walk and get sunlight in your eyes, because when you look at sunlight right in the morning, it sets your circadian rhythm to where you will get on a better sleep schedule, your REM sleep will go up, and you will fall asleep and get more tired around 10 or 11 p.m. And also, you want to make sure that you are eating protein and fats for breakfast. You do not want any sugar. You want to limit the carb intake, because that spikes your insulin and prevents you from getting in fat burning mode. So if you just eat proteins and fats, you will not get your insulin as high, you will not get that cortisol spike, and you will not be in the carb burning mode, and you will be in fat burning mode instead. And the second step is to enhance and optimize your sleep. So get on a sleep schedule to where you're waking up at the same time and going to bed at the same time every single day. It may be a pain in the ass, you may want to stay up extra late to watch your Netflix episode, but this will make your days so much better, will make your physique so much better, and it will make your energy so much better. And then also, you want to wait 2 hours after waking to drink caffeine, as I said earlier, which will help your sleep and help you from crashing. And then you also want to make sure that you're limiting blue light before bed and that you're wearing your blue light blocking glasses. And the third step that you need to take when breaking this loop is to have a daily reset. And the best way is to force yourself to get out of bed when you set that alarm for the new sleep schedule. You get up, you take a cold shower, which is gonna shock your system, boost your adrenaline, boost your growth hormone, and increase your immunity. And that will shock you and make you realize that you need to switch up, you need to break the loop, and it will allow you to have that new sense of change and wanting to actually escape. And you don't need a perfect, insane lifestyle to achieve a good physique, to achieve low stress, to achieve high testosterone. You just need to understand how this stress loop works and understand that sleep is so damn important. And you guys may think, oh, just because I sleep 8 hours from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m., that it's the same as getting closer to the circadian rhythm. And when you drink coffee right in the morning, you may think it's not that bad, but the little things add up. And if you want to have a top 1% physique, a top 1% mindset, a top 1% lifestyle, feel free to book a call with me for my one-on-one coaching in the link in the description of this video, and I'll see if you're a good fit, because obviously it all comes down to have that you want and if you're willing to put in the work. But thanks for watching the video, guys. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next, what you thought of this video, and let me know if you have tried any of this and if it works. But I will see you in the next video. See you later.